Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and I'm here with a very exciting announcement for the Tomcat Stitchery brand, I guess. I've just been waiting forever to share with you guys. So I'll go ahead and make it now so you don't have to wait till the end of the video, and then I'll kind of talk about the backstory and where this all came from and plans forward and that kind of stuff. But Tomcat Stitchery, i.e. me, is going to be hosting their very first in-person sewing retreat, October 20th through the 22nd, 2022. That is a Thursday through a Saturday. Yes. And the subject matter is going to be sewing a tailored shirt. So sewing a button-down shirt for that class. So, okay, which is very exciting. Unfortunately, I can only host 12 people at a time. So this whole thing is kind of a pilot program, if you will. So I'll be able to do 12 students at once. We have secured, and I'm saying we, so my friend Jenny, who you've met here on the channel, is doing some kind of assistant slash logistic slash helping with the website, all that stuff, especially she's doing a lot of the legwork for this workshop in terms of like helping find the space, the supply kits that we're putting together slash swag bags that we're putting together. She's kind of doing all of that, figuring out the lunches that we'll be serving, all of that kind of stuff. So I have hired her on. So when I say we, I'm not just talking about Gidget and I'm talking about my friend Jenny as well. So, who I've hired as a contractor, if you will, with Tomcat Stitchery. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about where this kind of came from and plans going forward. So when I started the channel, I had my own alterations and custom sewing business. You guys maybe have heard my story. I mean, I've talked about it on the channel, I know, numerous times, but I actually did not start garment sewing until 2011. I had learned to sew when I was pregnant, basically in 2006. Self-taught, was just doing like home deck stuff and that sort of thing. And then when we moved to Indianapolis, I took a garment construction class and met my sewing mentor, Joyce, who we just clicked right off the bat in 2011. I went and apprenticed with her. She was a professional dressmaker and had been for, I think, 43 or 44 years at that point. And she was getting ready to retire. So she did a lot of like custom dressmaking. She was actually, if you've been around the channel for a while, she was my contact for, I was part of a team of 6 seamstresses that worked on the Pence, Mike Pence, our past vice president, their inauguration dresses. They're from the Indianapolis area, if you didn't know. But anyway, that's how I got to be part of that team, because she had the contact with Karen Pence. She had done the her inaugural dress when she became the first lady of Indiana for when he was governor and all that kind of stuff. I think she actually did her wedding dress too when they got married. Anyway, she had been a dressmaker in the area for, like I said, like 43, 44 years, and took me under as an apprentice, and I worked with her as she was retiring out of her business. So she was working out of her business, and then when she sold it to Sarah, she sold the entire business to Sarah, I went and worked for Sarah in her workroom. And so she does custom, mostly bridal, but also some custom clothing as well, alterations and that sort of thing. So that's where all of my background kind of comes from. So when I started the channel in 2018, I kind of had a desire, number one, to pass on the information of sewing. I know that it is one of these crafts that really relies heavily on passing down from generation to generation. I mean, this was a craft that was around for necessity for hundreds, thousands of years, you know, for people in order for them to have clothing and all sorts of stuff, you know, sails on boats and, you know, equipment and all that kind of stuff. Sewing has been very integral part of all of that. And I think that it is one that is very important. Sorry. eyeball. Very important for it to continue to be passed down. I also am a big believer in that there are many ways to do all the different techniques, and the more that you can discover as you're learning to sew, the better off you are, because you may, the way I insert my invisible zipper may not be, maybe an okay way for you, but maybe you like the way, Sally over here does it or whatever. And, then you can eventually put together your own personal toolbox of techniques that you enjoy, which is why I hardly look at instructions anymore when I'm making patterns. I mean, I do a little bit, but, I have the ways that I kind of like to do things, but that doesn't mean I don't like to continue learning. I would like to take classes and continue learning for the rest of my life. It is one of my favorite things to do. I love learning new things. And I love learning things even about stuff that I already know a lot about, like sewing, because there's always more to learn. So that was kind of the impetus for me starting the channel, just kind of passing on what I had gleaned from the different instructors that I had learned from, and kind of passing that along, and also just being part of the sewing community. And it has morphed into so much more than that. I mean, this is just, it's my full-time job now, the channel, and the things that go along, with the channel. It's my full-time job. So I just, thank all of you, number one, for all of that. But one of the things that I have felt missing, and I also want to preface that nothing is changing on the channel. I'm not planning on, oh my gosh, come on, dry eyeball. Summer allergies, and we've had no rain, and it is killing me right now. Sorry, I digress. But one of the things that frustrates me about the channel, kind of, is the fact that I can't jump into each one of your living rooms and answer your questions with like showing you how to do something. I mean, I try and answer as best I can when you leave comments and emails and stuff like that, but man, I would love some sort of a quick little teleportation, like Star Trek type thing where I could just, be there and help you solve that problem real quick. So that's been kind of the one thing. But yes, the channel will not be changing. Nothing other than, series that I might do on the channel that will be different, that sort of thing. Everything else is staying the same on the channel. I'll be uploading 3 times a week, with the occasional bonus video. I'm sorry, I'm messing with my eye. So none of that is changing. So just to be, this is extra on. This is me building the Tomcat Stitchery community. So we started off with doing a little bit to the website, although if you go visit the website, you're gonna see a lot more is being done over there. We're kind of, I'm trying to do this as cost effectively as possible, and there's definitely, you can fall down a rabbit hole and spend a lot of money on some really cool things, but I'm trying to be as smart with that as possible. So we're just doing a lot of these a little by little, like the website and all that kind of stuff. I've got some help from a couple teenagers that are helping with the website. Actually, my friend Jenny, her kids are helping. In addition to my children are also helping a little bit as well. That generation just understands all that stuff much quicker than even, like what I can do. But anyway. So you will be noticing some changes over on the website, hopefully good ones. The whole reason I started the newsletter was so that we can create this community even more, and also, for stuff like this, like the classes, because the newsletter subscribers got the email for the class last night. So at midnight it went out to them. Thursday night, I guess technically is that Friday morning, Thursday night? It went out at midnight. With this video obviously going up at 7. So hopefully there's still some spots left, and I have no idea. Like maybe the spots sell out right away, or maybe they don't. Maybe they go on for, ever and ever. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't even fill all 12. I don't know, which is why this is a whole pilot class to begin with. One of the other things though, so that's the real reason. I just wanted to have some hands-on opportunities where I could literally be in front of some of you. I mean, I wish I could be all of you, but I'm trying to figure that out too. But for right now, a class of 12, I'll have a couple assistants like helping me out, but to be able to get in front of you, help with fitting. The class is going to cover fitting. Actually, when you do sign up for the class, there is a form that you fill out, just with some, basic things, your name, address, email, all that kind of stuff. But also I'm asking for, your like rough measurements, like your upper bust, which is right underneath your arms, full bust, waist, and hips, just rough measurements so I know what size packet for patterns to buy for each person, because the class does include, the price of the class does include your pattern, it includes fabric, it includes buttons, it includes thread, it includes interfacing, everything that you're gonna need to make the shirt, yeah, will all be included. But yeah, part of the class is going to be going through and fitting the shirts on everybody, and then we're going to be actually constructing the tailored shirt. I'm really hopeful, that pretty much everyone's going to be able to get finished. I've really tried to be generous with the timing and, scheduling all of that out to make that work. But that's kind of the plan. So, yeah, with some tips and tricks along the way, I'll be doing my bias tape finish on the hems. It's a shirt that's going to have a collar stand and a collar, the button placket. I'll be showing how to do both a continuous lap placket, which is what I actually have on this shirt, but also a tower placket. And then I'm talking about, I'm going to have a little spiel one day while everyone is eating lunch, because we're going to have lunch delivered to the site where we are having this, where I'm going to talk a little bit about working with trickier fabrics and that sort of thing. So I think it's going to be a really good experience. Also, the area that I live in, Carmel, Indiana, is gorgeous in the fall. So I think this will be a lot of fun to have this in the fall. And the site where we're having this has a lot of really cool, it's a really cool area where I live, I have to say. I didn't even know anything cool in Indiana existed until we moved here, but my little area here in Carmel and the surrounding areas is really, really cool. So hopefully we're gonna have a lot to offer on top of just the sewing and the face-to-face. Again, pilot program. So if this works out well, also, I've got everything obviously down below if you wanna go over and register for the class or even just read more about it. All the information is on the website now. As well as to be able to sign up, and there will be a wait list. So if the spots do happen to sell out and you don't get a spot, there will be a wait list. Like a just in case type thing. But the plan is, if this works out really well, I would love to offer more of these, like a lot more of these. In my brain, I have like classes planned out where, if you were to take all of them, you would be able to make yourself a capsule wardrobe pretty easily, with a little bit of hacking and, using different fabrications and stuff, but definitely have a whole packet of TNT patterns for yourself that you could then use as your basics or whatever, to do a whole capsule wardrobe. In the perfect world, in my big dreaming, that is the absolute goal. I would love most of those to be in-person classes, but I do understand that a lot of you live very far away and that is just prohibitive, which I totally get, So I do, rest assured, I am trying to figure out what it would look like to also down the road offer some digital classes as well. That people could buy to take. Obviously it wouldn't have me there, I'd be teaching the online class obviously, but it wouldn't have me there to help you actually fit yourself. But I'm trying to figure out a way that it would be most helpful, showing it on some different bodies, fitting and that sort of thing, for the patterns as well. So that's probably a little further down the road, but we have started the preliminary steps in trying to figure that out. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully, yeah. I've been connected to some really great people, and hopefully that will continue, and we can get that going a little bit more too. That is so above my pay grade. I know that I film regularly, but obviously if I'm going to be offering a digital product like that, I want it to be as professional as possible. So, which is way above my pay grade. So just trying to figure out what that looks like and getting the right people in my circle of helpers here to help make that happen. So rest assured, if you're like, oh my gosh, there's no way I'd ever be able to make it to Indiana, or I don't want to go to Indiana to do these in-person classes, we are trying to figure that out as well. So, and again, hopefully we're going to have more opportunities. We're just going to see how this goes, see, if it I think it's really going to fill my cup, to be honest, to have people, like actual people in front of me for these. Not to be selfish, but hopefully that's the same for the people that come to the classes as well. But yeah, I would like to make it as universally available as possible. I want to include everybody, so as much as I can. So that is kind of the thought process, and that's what's been going on behind the scenes. And let me tell you guys, for someone that I could sit at a sewing machine all day long and sew up all of the clothes, this has taken so much mental bandwidth. And I'm not even doing like the nitty-gritty stuff. Like I said, I've got like teenagers that are helping me figure a lot of this stuff out as we go. It's very overwhelming, but yeah, it's definitely a step that I want to take the whole Tomcat Stitchery into. So that is the big news for now. Obviously, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, because any other things that get planned out, we're just going to kind of see how this goes. We're going to, you know, yeah. You'll be first to know if you're on the newsletter list is kind of what I'm going at with there. Amongst other cool things, you know, we had the summer capsule checklist that I sent out, and I'll be putting one out for fall, and there'll be other fun stuff with the newsletter, but it's going to be, I think, an every 2-week type thing. So I think that is it. Again, if you have any questions about the specifics of the course, that is all on the website, and that is in the description box below. I know that some people struggle finding the description box. So real quick, if you are on a computer or a tablet, right below the video is the title of the video, and below that is like a couple of words of text, and you can hit, I think it says more, and like 3 dots. You hit that, a little bit more text drops down with some links. If you hit the show more or the arrow down, once you're in that box, everything will drop down, which are all the links, and any videos that I talk about are all right there. If you're on a phone, it just shows up a little bit different, but it's still the same thing. Underneath the title, there's, you know, some text, and you can click down. If you're watching it on a TV, like watching YouTube on like a smart TV, you can't get to any of that from there. So you do have to be on a computer or a tablet or a phone or something in order to get to all those links. But again, I have a link to the website below. So if you're interested, you can go over there and read more about it. Yeah, and if you've got questions that you don't find that are answered on the page, although Jenny's done a really great job of writing all of that up, send me an email, and my email is also down in the description box. It's just Whitney@TomcatStitchery.com. So yeah, and we'll get those answered for you hopefully as soon as possible. Okay guys, that is it for today. I mean, it's a little bit shorter video, but man, this has been so much behind the scene work. And I just want to thank my, my friend Jenny, her family, my own family, and my close little ring of friends that have really come through with networking help and figuring a lot of this out. And yeah, just getting the whole business side nailed down a little bit more. So hopefully it makes it easier for me to do more of these in the future, a little bit more streamlined. So yeah, and that hopefully you don't notice a change on the channel, that everything is continuing to go out per normal. All right, on that note, got a tutorial coming up on Sunday. I'm filming this way in advance, so I'm not sure what that tutorial is yet. But Tuesday, I'm going to be talking about my latest obsession, which is the Cashmerette Upton dress. You've seen one, I've made another. And we're going to be talking about that in a little bit more detail on Tuesday. And then I think next Friday we're going to have a vlog, I think. So, you know, just me getting some sewing done and talking to you guys and that kind of stuff. So that's what we have going forward. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. And definitely go check out the website. If nothing else, go check out the website, because my little teenage minions have been very busy at making that pretty. So yeah, go take a look and see all the good work that they've done over there. I'm blessed with some really great kids in my life, so it's a really cool thing. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you get sewing in. If you're in the U.S., we are coming up on 4th of July on Monday, so I hope you have a good holiday weekend and get a lot of rest and relaxation in, as well as some celebrating. All right, guys, have a good weekend, and I will see you again on Sunday. Bye.